Hey, there we go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time it might be where you are.
Greetings, my excellent friend.
Greetings indeed, my excellent friends. It's so good to see you. Oh my gosh! Living in a wheelchair with the raid. Thank you so much, Living in a Wheelchair. I appreciate that raid. Thank you very much. You caught me just as I'm starting. My name is Jeff Fritz, and we're going to write a little bit of code today. How's it going there, chat room? And thank you for the raid there. What were you doing over there on your stream? Let us know, and we'll mention it here. We'll get a shout out to Living in a Wheelchair. Thank you so much. There we go. Off to our morning routine, but hope I have a great stream. Well, thank you. We're reading. Well, we're doing more than reading. We're going to do a little bit more than reading here today. Oh, my goodness. Zoltra Lord, hello. Yes, I've got my Penn State hat on today. I am one happy Penn State alumnus. Let me tell you. Faco Rodriguez, so good to see you. Rambling Geek, hello. Killer Coder PT, good afternoon, so good to see you. Sean is here, hello. Jobbin PA, good morning. Devman NL, Door 95, good afternoon, and yes, happy coding indeed. That Onion, hello. Stelzy's here. Janescu, yes, welcome. T Tutco, it's 10:12 and Michigan's. Well, I am a Penn State alumnus. Yes, and Michigan is a rival. We're happy to see that they lost to my Nittany Lions last night in football. It was tremendous. So much fun to watch that. Caparino, good to see you. Zoltra Lord. You discussed technology, black holes, and stuff. Oh, that's pretty cool, that Onion. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, there's a lot going on in the world of technology, let me tell you. Thank you so much for the follow. Developers, containers. Yes. And now we have Fritz Bits, indeed. And I want to make sure that they're being awarded and that I have timing set up appropriately for how the redemptions work. I need to figure out other redemptions besides review my code and review my session. I need to figure out some other things there. So I'm interested to hear your feedback, chat room, of different things that we could do with the Fritz Bits, our faux channel currency now that you see the little orange gears just below chat here. There were a couple comments in Discord about those. Rewarding points for catching me or saying and then or getting me to squirrel. Picking my next hat, that's not bad. Wearing my hat backwards for a certain number of minutes. But definitely picking the next hat is something. And no and then. No and then there. Hey, and Eternal Dev Coder, good to see you. And Ninja Ola, hello. 2,310 Fritz Bits right now. And that's only after one episode. Right? That's why I'm like, that's a lot. That was quick. Need to give you ways to redeem that. Picking the next hat, that's a pretty good one. I'm gonna fire up Notepad here. Pick the next hat. That means I need to have a catalog somewhere for you to find. What else could we do? Fritz Bits. So Fritz Bits, right, like I said, those are our stream currency that you have available there. I'm not allowed to use it to give away physical things, but I can certainly use it to qualify further, bigger questions, bigger samples that we need to look at. But picking the next hat is a good one. And when we do much longer streams, you're going to earn those Fritz Bits really quickly. Eternal Dev Coder with the sub. Why didn't I get the sub? Did we get the sub announcement? I didn't see it. I only saw the and then pop up here. Thank you so much for that sub, and we'll make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Thank you so much for that. Will the catalog contain pictures of me modeling all the hats? Hey, Fletcher. I hope not. Oh, gosh, I hope not. 4-month anniversary streaming. Is that watching or marriage? Let me know, Eternal Dev Coder. You want 1 million Fritz Bits? What will you get for that? I don't know. I haven't even thought of that. There's so many things that we can do with it, that we could do with it. I don't know. 4 months as a sub. Well, thank you so much. Yes. Yep, 1,700. So you can, right, the highlight is nice. They're similar to, the Mixer has XP on theirs. That's what it's similar to. The ones you gain while watching a stream. Yes, that's right, Yo Beats. So these are Twitch's channel points that they're issuing and making available. Madrinas, we need to talk. Right? I mean, look. The can's green and half of it has disappeared. Come on now. This is vanilla cappuccino I'm trying today. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I'm enjoying it. We'll see how it goes throughout the day today. So, when last we spoke, we were working on, we've distributed our chatbot. It's available. It's out there. It's running. We bought a domain name for it. I don't even remember what the domain name was that we got. fritzbot.net. That's it. And we're going to spin that up. We're going to get that connected. I want to show you how you can hook that up. Choose the background for a certain amount of Fritz bits. That's not bad either, Zultra Lord. Choose the background. Are you talking about the background behind me, or the background when I'm over here and we're writing code together? Do you want to change my wallpaper? Do you want to change the image behind me? No, that's quite all right. Well, okay. You spent the 200 to highlight. Choose the background behind me. It might be a certain amount to choose from a library, and maybe more to submit your own. But I need to approve. You can't just submit anything to go behind me. I need to approve it. Change to Comic Sans. Oh, that's a good one. Change editor font to, let's just make it to any, to your choice of font. Comic Sans is pretty good, but I like that. The Visual Studio theme, I'm going to pass on that one because that really affects the way that folks are able to view and know what's going on. Any, sure, but we all know Comic Sans is superior. Oh my goodness. Let me get some music playing here in the background while we get started here. Today I'm going to play, let's play Gold. Here we go. This is music to code by. This is music that's been designed to get you in the flow, to get you focused on whatever task it is you might be working on. Each song is 25 minutes long. Listen to it, focus on your task, and when it's done playing, take 5 minutes for yourself. Go get yourself a beverage, walk around, come back, listen again for another 25 minutes, and you'll be so much more productive. That's called the Pomodoro technique. You can get your own copy of this music at mtcb.pwop.com, or you can execute the music command in the channel. Get that link, go out there, and get your copy. Thanks so much. Thanks so much for letting us listen to your music, Mr. Carl Franklin. We really appreciate your support. And if you enjoy the music, make sure you check out and get your copy today. Cascadia code is superior. Yes, indeed. I did RDP into Ubuntu. You're correct, Wenzile. This is a virtual machine that I'm running. It has the virtual machine extensions installed so that I can RDP into it. I'm a Windows person, and I'm spending a lot of time learning more about Linux this month. We call this Ubuntober, and we're having a good time learning and finding our way around, working with the tools all month long. I'm not getting the alerts coming through at all here. Thank you for the follow, Kyler455. My alerts are not running. What happened there? Hey, Stream Elements. What happened there? Let me refresh that, see if we can get that to work. Code Fira, Cascadia are very nice. Yes, yes indeed. If we do that, please leave out wingdings as it's impossible to read. True. Maybe we'll have... maybe I'll give a short list of editor fonts that we can choose from. Tomato music? This isn't tomato music. What are you talking about? It's tremendous, Sloth Chunk. I usually don't notice the music ends when focused. You're right, Estranged HD. I completely agree with you. There comes a point when even when we're coding here together today like this, that I stop thinking about the music altogether. And I don't even recognize it back there playing. Wenzel asks, what kind of environment am I running? Looks like I've RDP'd into Ubuntu. Yes, this is Hyper-V that I'm running on top of Windows 10. There's my Hyper-V. There you go. So you can see I'm running in Windows 10 Professional. And I'm running Ubuntu 18.04.2. It's the LTS version, so it's got all the support for it. I didn't want to spend time mucking with having to recompile things, get latest this, do latest whatever. Just run the LTS. Let's get in and running. And because I'm running on top of Windows, I'm able to RDP into it, and that's why I leave the banner up here so that you can see I am running Ubuntu and I am connected into it from Windows. It looks a little weird to some folks that are more used to running Linux on the bare metal, but I'm not comfortable with that. I'm not that much of a Linux expert, so I want you to see and appreciate that I'm learning a little bit here too. So, and suddenly you're 50 songs deep. Joined the Linux? No. Yes, Ubuntober, indeed. It's the i3 window manager for Linux, says that onion. I'm gonna write that down. i3 window manager, because I want to talk about something that I stumbled onto yesterday here. But let me finish addressing your questions there in the chat room. Sloth Chunk loves the Pomodoro technique, use it a lot, and going to test these tracks when I'm coding. Absolutely, check it out. If you go to, let me open Firefox here. Oh, let me show you something. If you go to Music to Flow By, yeah, I know Firefox is ready. I opened it. musictoflowby.com. Here it is. This is Carl Franklin's Music to Flow By. If you scroll down here, there's all kinds of talk about what it is, blah, blah, blah. Click the dub here, and you can get a couple of songs for free right away that you can listen to. So this one called Rollinson, I'm not sure I have that one. There's a bunch of premium episodes here you can sign up for, but you can go a little bit further back. Gosh, I don't see the ones that go all the way back. But there's definitely a song that you can get started with trying out. Really, really great stuff. And I'm happy to support Carl in promoting and getting the word out about Music to Flow By. So, ooh, look at that. We've got a second pull request from Hugo. Nice. We'll take a look a little bit at that. Ubuntu 18.04 uses Unity. Oh, I didn't know that. You're welcome, Wenzel, and please, I'm learning a little bit here as much as some other folks about getting around and working with Linux, and I'm enjoying it. This is something that it's always folks that are longtime viewers will tell you I enjoy kind of stretching my wings here, trying something different. That's how we learn. Get outside the box. Go learn something that you're not used to doing. It's one thing to be productive, but if you can be productive with something new, you're going to end up growing as well. .NET rocks. Yes, indeed. Bitter Pie Bill. That's right. So, audio out of sync. Oh, it looks like it is again a little bit. Just a smidge. Just a smidge. And this has happened a couple times. 1 second here. Let's see what we can do to fix that real quick. I don't know why this happens. I start up my camera and it goes just out of sync right after I get everything up and running here. Give me 1 second. Happy Sunday, Robert Tables. Hello, my friend. So good to see you. And I'm not quite sure why it does. And the notifications are still down too. Are you kidding? That's... Well, I haven't seen anything that would be notifiable. Nobody even said Docker. I know, right? Alright, let's do that. This. And if I go back over here. How's that? Yeah, that looks better. Yeah. I don't get it. Oh, yeah, fossils with the follow, and it didn't pop open. Yeah, I have a feeling Stream Elements has an outage here. Is what we're seeing. Are you having an outage with alert features? Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be hitting here. Yep, everybody's here. We even got Bobby tables. Happy Sunday, Lennon. So good to see you. Yes, I'm sorry, Spartan. Yeah, we got the Penn State hat going today. After that win last night over our friends from Michigan, and my Nittany Lions got to celebrate a win over the Wolverines. Thank you for the follow. Off by one. Appreciate you joining us. And yeah, gosh, it does feel like our alerts are just not working today. You woke up early on Sunday just for the stream. Well, thank you. I appreciate you joining us. Yeah, the counter here isn't working at all. And yeah. That feels bad. Let's see over here. It's this one. Refresh. Forcing a refresh of everything to see if I can get those things to trigger again. So, dedicated. Oh yeah, waking up early? Absolutely. And folks like Rambling Geek, good to see you. Out there in Europe, yeah, it's the middle of the afternoon. All right. See, look, okay, so that updated with the new follower count, but we'll see if the alerts pop up. We will see if the alerts pop up. Doesn't say there's any kind of an outage over there. Maybe they quietly block you because I code to be a competitor. So here's the thing, Stelsey. I had a couple of really nice meetings with the folks from Stream Elements, and I suggested and dropped them a couple of ideas, and they didn't return my phone calls. So, to each their own. Hey, Nick Larson. So good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. All right. A couple things that I want to do here. So we started building and deploying our distributed chatbot. I've got too many Firefoxes open. There we go. And we've got it building and deploying using Azure Pipelines. You can see I've got a little pill right here. You're welcome to click through. And so let me see here. Let's put in a project. Building and deploying fixes to our open source chatbot. Source code at... There's a link. There we go. Yep, we're going to get through the renaming on GitHub. I'm going to hold off on the rename on GitHub. That's going to be one of the last things that I rename. They were nice before they saw that I was coding on stream. Actually, I've had phone calls with the CEO of Stream Elements. And I've given him suggestions. I've given him ideas for features. I've given them source code. And we'll see. Stream Elements, if you're watching, my door is open. You have my phone number. You have my email address. Call me. Let's talk. I'm more than happy to help you out here and collaborate. So oh my. Anybody can write code. Anybody can contribute. I'm happy to contribute. I'm happy to share. There's some things that if Stream Elements made open source around their documentation, I'm happy to help them out with that as well. All they have to do is pick up the phone. And I've extended an olive branch. I've sent emails. Just have to respond. Something strange is happening. Yeah, my alerts are working, but I'm not getting any of the other notifications coming through. Frackberg says G Fuel comes in cans now. No. Well, it does. It does. I don't have any of the cans only because I feel like the cans are a little bit of a waste when I can get 40 servings in a tub, right? Like that. No, this is Madrina's cold brew coffee. I got a couple sample cases of this, couple sample 6-packs of this, and it's not bad. Giving it a try, seeing how it goes, and it works. So, also more environmentally friendly to use your own G Fuel shaker. Yes, right. Use your own G Fuel shaker, like this one. There it is. Right, there's the G Fuel logo. Anyways. So we've been working on this bot. You give up coffee for your mental health and you miss it? I bounce back and forth. Robert Tables would Dockerize a G Fuel shaker. Put it in a container and... Anyways. So we've been working on this project. It is building and is available. You can see it out here. You're welcome to go and visit at devazure.com/fritzandfriends/pixelbot. We're going to have to rename that too. And you can see all of the builds that happen out here, all the steps that are involved, and you're more than welcome to even come out here and criticize that I've only got 3 tests inside the project. We need more tests. We need more unit tests. We need some integration tests. We need to work on that. So Robert Tables and I have been talking. We're trying to connect, trying to schedule some time, because one of the next steps that we need to do with this bot is not just get it into a container, but working with multiple containers and deploying cleaner. And there's a couple things there that our friend Robert Tables is an expert in that we're going to collaborate and try and figure out here. So we just missed connecting this past week, but we are going to be we're working pretty hard to try and get something together here. M Stu, hello, good to see you. What are you laughing at? Oh, Dockerizing a G Fuel shaker. Yeah. Hit me up on Monday. Fantastic. Looks better for you this week. Fantastic. Let's try and make that work. All right. So the bot works. It's available. It's out there. It doesn't look great. We've been working on this follower train widget, and we can do some things to improve the images there, to improve the animation, but it works. It does what it's supposed to do. Okay, follower train is the concept of having a widget that runs here on screen so that when there is a new follower, a car is added to the train, and the train creeps from one side of the screen to the other. And when it reaches the other end of the screen, it's after a certain amount of time that we've set up as the time to acknowledge a new follower. And if we get new followers within that certain amount of time, it extends the train. If the train makes it all the way to the other end and that time runs up, the train resets and we need to start counting again. The Quiltani bot works great, but what you got witness on? Oh, what you witnessed them one day on her stream. Yes. So our friend Quiltoni, who this was originally built for, she runs this as a standalone executable on her machine, but that means it's taking up processor, it's taking up things and memory and network resources on her local machine. So when she travels and she has a much smaller set of capabilities that she's traveling with, because she's on a laptop at that point, it's a little bit harder to run and get all the features. So we've been building and deploying to Azure. Psycho says, sign me up for a Docker stream. Deployed your first Hello World ASP.NET Core container a couple weeks ago. Makes you want to do more. Terrific. Oh, that's great, Psycho. I'm glad you enjoy that. Yeah, there's some pretty cool things that we've been able to do with this, but I want to do more. And what I like about this project is we have the ability to add new features, explore new capabilities in a very isolated space. Yes, that's right. Robert Tables is doing an Intro to Docker series that you can check out. Absolutely. So, A couple things that I want to do here while we're together today.
What'd you do?
Well, I deployed it, but it doesn't have a proper domain name. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to go out to the Azure console and set up the custom domain name for, and we've been slowly renaming this, I want to set up the custom domain name for the FritzBot. And that means we need to set up DNS, we need to set up Azure so it knows to listen on that DNS, and we need to reconfigure auth0 so that it knows that that new domain name is valid to let folks log in through. Yep. Robert Tables is calling his October of Docker Doctober. Actually, Dr. Disrespect is calling it Doctober as well, just because he's vain like that. You know what I mean? So, spend some time with Docker this Doctober. The more you know. Okay. Yeah, it's a slightly different doc for him. Anyways. So, first thing I want to do, let's do this little bit of reconfiguring so I have the domain name deployed.
Scott, I'm new here.
There we go. Now we're getting notification. Async task of T. Thank you so much for the sub. Welcome. Thank you for using your Twitch Prime. We'll make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. We're going to give you 17 emotes, turn off all the ads on this channel, and you get to throw emotes at my face whenever you use them in chat. Thank you so much for the sub. I appreciate the Twitch Prime very, very much. You did some stuff with Twilio Quest and Docker. It was good times. Yeah, Twilio Quest is an interesting game that they built, the folks at Twilio, to help teach folks how to use Twilio facilities, Twilio capabilities. So I encourage you to check that out because it's pretty interesting. It's a great way to learn. I'm making sure my Azure mask is turned on over here before I start going through and deploying things. And I'm going to click through to this before I start showing, inadvertently, maybe, all the advanced details of my domain here that we're going to be managing and working on. There we go. All right. Yeah, we'll talk through that in a second. All right. Oh my gosh, C# Josh.
C# Josh just resubscribed for 9 months. Smile.
Thank you so much, C# Josh. I appreciate the resub. And 9 months, that's going to put you into a green hat, and you're going to get to keep those emotes for another couple months here. Thank you so much. And we'll make that donation to St. Jude's. On a new machine, I cannot install Azure Mask. He had to rename it to AZ Mask. So make sure you get a copy of that. No, Robert Tables is already here, Janescu. Hey, Danny Camps Games, good to see you. So we bought this domain name last time here on stream, fritzbot.net, and I'm purposely using my Windows browsers here because I'm logged into Azure. I'm in private mode, and I've already got my masks and things set up so that it doesn't inadvertently share information about all my Azure accounts, and I don't inadvertently dox myself here, you know? So the bot is over here, and we're going to set up fritzbot.net as the domain name for this to listen to. So what I'm going to do, scroll down here to custom domains. I'm going to add a custom domain. It's right now listening, and it's out there at fritzbot.azurewebsites.net, but I'm going to add a custom domain. And it was fritzbot.net. Validate. All right, so now these are the steps you have to go through in order to set up that custom domain. So I could set up an A record. I could set up a C name. I want to set up an A record. An A record should map your domain to the IP address of your app in your scenario. That means mapping fritzbot.net to your IP address 137.116.88.213. Along with an A record, you also need to add a text record. The text record should point to your default Azure domain. What the heck does that mean? Here's what I got to do. To verify my ownership, I need to include these two records. This way, Azure sees these when it pulls the DNS and will appropriately at that point allow through the request. So I'm going to grab 137.116. I'm going to make that an A record over here. I'm going to get rid of this CNAME record that's pointing to the wrong location. Yes, delete that. I'm also going to get rid of the... no, that's fine. I can do that URL redirect. And I'm going to want it to go to HTTPS. That's going to be something we need to set up too. Yeah, we're going to need to figure that out. Actually, yeah, I want it to be the www. And I'm going to point it to that address. Alright. And, yep, automatic is fine. Azure, yep, now I'm on your turf. Absolutely. Chrome doesn't allow you to enable the AZ mask. That's news to me. I'm not sure what's happening there. So I've added the A record. I need to add the text record. The text record goes from the @ to fritzbot azurewebsites.net. So let's add that record as well. Right, there's the text record down here. I'm gonna, right, I can do the exact same thing here. Do that. Point it to this. Make sure that I get rid of that space up front. There we go. And now I have the records in there that Azure is looking for. I think that's all right. Maybe. Let me turn this around. You know what? Let me have this go. That go to @. Have this be the www. And drop that out. I think that works. Alright. So now I can tell, yes, DNS propagation, blah, blah, blah. Validate. Go find it. Because it's out there now. There we go. So Azure found it and verified, yes, I know what that is. Okay, good. Add it. And we should have that in just a second. Yep, can't be summoned if he's been here the whole time. So, all right, next we got to do some SSL bindings, right? So, yeah, the @ is pointing to my, over here, point www to the @ You can just replace that with like this? No, that doesn't work. Yeah. I can't do that. No, cancel that. I think that's all I really want at this point. Saw a great information announcement this week. Express route via satellites. Neat. Okay. DNS has to be my least favorite thing to mess with. Close second with cores. Not wrong. You're not wrong. So, all right, that will route appropriately over there, but I don't have SSL set up here. So, here's where this gets a little bit tricky. If I try to add the binding here, right? I can either import a certificate or upload a PFX. I don't have either of those. And I don't want to go out and buy one. But what I can do is, shoot, what's the name of the company that makes the, Let's Encrypt. I can go to Let's Encrypt. Right? Do I have that wrong? I probably have that wrong. And I can get a free SSL cert here. And for right now, where I'm not up and running and serving millions of folks, I'm okay with getting one of these to get things started. Eventually, we'll buy a big commercial SSL cert and we're all right. I can delete the www. It's useless. I can? Thank you for the follow, Marco Bruno, BR. I appreciate you joining us. Okay. We'll delete that. Most hosts allow you to gen 1. Yes. I could generate one over here, right? If I click through. Right. There is a way over here on Azure to create one. I don't see it. Where is it? From their control panel. For another host, yes. Well, this is a Linux. Shoot, I just completely navigated away. Go back to that. And I actually want to pin this to its own dashboard, because there's stuff that I'm going to want to be able to see over there. So I actually started... Well, it's not here now. You make me sad. I had started a Fritzbot dashboard, and what I want to do is have all kinds of information about how this is running over there. Right? So now I click the pin there, and now it's here. We'll resize and put some other things about it over here, including like all the different graphs and metrics of what it's doing over there, so we can see at a glance everything that's happening. You're right, I should be able to go to the Kudu extensions, but I don't think there's Kudu extensions because I'm running inside of a container. Marco Bruno asks, do I work at Microsoft? Yes, I do. Sure do. Yeah, there are no extensions that I can turn on here, because this is inside of a container running on Azure App Service. Pac-Man Jr., hello, hello. Fun with domains and certs. But I don't want to go too far here. Rambling Geek has a link for us. How to set up Let's Encrypt SSL certs for an Azure web app. So here's the thing. Yep, you need to set up a storage account. Blah, blah, blah. But... yeah, oh, wait a sec. Hang on, that's different. And this is going to be really crazy to set up, along with having to share and look at some of these other configuration items, which I don't think I want to necessarily do live on stream. If I go through to here, I'm not familiar with this. Go to resource groups. Yeah, got to do that. Okay, resource group, my app service. Scroll down to extensions under development tools. No, it's got to be back one. Nah, it's not available because this is a Linux container. I can't do that. Yeah, the extension isn't available. So we actually need to go a little bit different with this to try and get this up and running. So that gets a little bit crazier, right? I thought there was a way to get SSL certs. App service certificates. Is that what I'm looking for? Sure. Give me one. Yes, I think this year you can have a free certificate directly from the portal, but you never tried it. It's in my plan. It's in my plan. Where's the plan? App service plans. Yeah. No, I'm in the wrong. Thank you for the follow. Beachley, appreciate you joining us. No. Not through there. My subscription, app service plan. No, it doesn't look like it's here. Go into scaling. Which one? Manual scale, custom auto scale, instance count. Custom domains, SSL, configure and purchase, custom domains with blah, 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 blah. No. No. Free Azure SSL cert. Will Windows be another Linux flavor someday? Sloth Chunk, more people are using Linux now thanks to Windows and Windows Subsystem for Linux. I wouldn't say it's gone too much further than that. I mean, crumbs. Continuing, is it my job to do streams? It's an interesting question. It's my job to help the developer community, to help folks to be successful. I have found that by streaming, I've been able to reach more folks, been able to help more folks in a variety of different technologies, to enable other folks to stream and give them some inspiration, some guidance, some direction that helps them grow their streams and grows a little bit of the learning and the capabilities that our entire community can do. So is it my job to stream? Streaming's part of my job. Yes, it's not just my job. Blah 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 blah. What is this? Something about front door. Have you used Azure Front Door? I refuse to use Azure Front Door. I think I don't work on Azure. The concept of Azure Front Door, I think, it complicates what was a very simple configuration option that is available on Azure. I am not a fan of it. It's not something that I will use if I don't have to. You need to pick a plan that includes an SSL cert. What do you mean, pick one that includes a cert? I'm not paying... Look, I'm already paying $70 a month for this. And even then, I don't want to pay $70 a month, but that's how much I'm paying for this. I pay a lot for things that we do here on stream, friends. Yeah, and it doesn't include a cert. Like, if I go way up here, it doesn't include a cert. Right? Go way out here. 7 gig memory, all this stuff doesn't include a cert. So, I don't see anything here that includes a cert. I was in the production one. Yeah. Start a certificate order. Yeah. Start an app server in the app service certificate start page. What's that look like? Can you upload certs? Yes, you can. Install certbot on Linux and run certbot cert only -d domain manual. Right. So if you install the certbot, you can do that, which that becomes a little weird. Create new, use existing. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not paying $70 a year right now, or $300. No, not doing this. No. It's not easy. I actually find it quite confusing getting started with some of these features. Let's go back to here. Agreed. I would rather do Rambly Geek. That doesn't work. That link that you've provided works for Windows. Yeah, IIS. I'm not on IIS. I'm in Linux. Yeah. This doesn't work on the Linux services. So, yeah, I can't use that. So I could upload certs, which means that I would need to set up a Linux box to generate the cert and have it run on a regular basis. But it would need to export it somewhere and allow me to update it. Azure doesn't have a built-in cert manager. There's this extension that you can install that will do it for you. Yes, I can get a free Let's Encrypt cert, but right, I don't want to have to think about that. SSL on Linux services in Azure. That's correct. So it should be easier. Here's the challenge, though. I'm deploying a bot, a container, on a regular basis that doesn't necessarily have the service installed and running in it. I would have to reinstall and run the service every time. Or I can put into the container the Cert bot so that it runs, but even when it's done running, I need to upload it into Azure and assign it to it. That's going to be a couple steps here that, thinking out loud, that I could do. I could set up a very simple, Robert Tables, a Docker container that has the Cert manager installed, fetches the Cert appropriately. Yeah, a Docker for Let's Encrypt. Is there one? Because that would make a lot of sense. And then upload it to my my endpoint. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, whatever. Okay. This is Nginx setup. Renew your certificate. Docker Compose run Let's Encrypt. Start Let's Encrypt container with Docker Compose. The container starts, runs the Acme process, and exits. Where does it put it? App, your image, ports 80. Well, wait a sec. Right, there's the SSL configuration for Nginx. So, okay, there is a Docker container that has it. You could use an entry point script on container startup. Yes. What's that look like? Let's encrypt with Docker. Dev side story. That feels like a thing. Let's Encrypt sets up an Nginx web server and reverse proxy with PHP support in a built-in Let's Encrypt client that automates the SSL certificate generation and renewal process. Also, it contains failed to ban for intrusion prevention. Supported architectures. Blah, 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 blah. Docker create, name Let's Encrypt. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Container images are configured using external parameters, passed in at runtime. User group identifiers. Okay, so there's my URL, there's my time zone. So I would use, what is it, America, New York for me. Subdomains that I'd like the Cert to cover, comma separated in spaces, no spaces. Let's Encrypt validation, method to use. Required validation is set to DNS. Options are... No, I don't want it set to DNS. I want it set to HTTP. Required validation is set to duck DNS. No. Can't just run an Acme client on the thing you actually want the Cert for. I would need to install it into my container that I'm building. So I'm already starting a container, but I've already got, right, these other containers that are already built and have the things for me. Right, so which means then I would be running, when I've got duplicate containers out there, when I've got many copies of that container, now I've got many Acme clients all running at the same time, running back and forth. Do as little as possible on a container, yes. Right, but I just want to set up a job that's going to reach out and renew the Cert on a regular basis and then install it into Azure. Which, right, that's a whole nother kettle of fish. Right, so there's the Let's Encrypt. Right, so Right, there's how they're building their little Let's Encrypt container image. I can use DNS validation because my DNS is so easy to verify to Let's Encrypt. Okay. Okay. So, I mean, I could add Let's Encrypt into it, but then, like I said, I've got an extra thing hanging out there. Proxy will sit on both ports 80 and 443. So once I receive the certificate, right, because when this runs, it'll download the certificate, and we then need to put it somewhere, right? Docker compose, first time generation. Run, remove Let's Encrypt Cert only, web root, email, that location, agree to the TOS. All right, TOS, terms of service for non-English speakers. Hey, Rich Sand 77. Good morning in Ecuador. Welcome, it's so good to have you join us today. Yes, we do this once to go get it, but you need to do it on a scheduled basis so that you get the renewals here. After this command, you also have to reload Nginx as shown previously. It renews certificates, which are expiring in less than 30 days. You typically want to go set it as a cron. Now, here's what I'm thinking. This is something, right? So on the first run, I could set this up. I could run this locally on my little Linux system that I have running here. But the renewal, I could set this up to run as a scheduled job in Azure and have it automatically update the certificate using the Azure command line. So there's a couple things here that, quite frankly, I don't want to go through and spend time on here while we're coding together here, because this is going to take a little bit of time to figure out, and I'd much rather write some code together than try to run through this. Because, yeah, Frank, this is a real struggle. This is something that is not clear for Azure folks, how to do this. And I'm gonna pin this and come back to this later, because this isn't simple. So I'm gonna bookmark a couple of these and come back to it. And I agree, we should be able to do this with just a text DNS notification. And the configuration with SSL on Azure, honestly, the way that they're hiding how you get the SSL cert there doesn't make me happy. I'm not thrilled with that. So, Azure and Let's Encrypt has never been easy. Agreed. Yeah, unfortunately, it's not something that's as easy as it should be. So, right, I should be able to, come on, I should be able to go there and it kind of choke at me. Yeah, that I'm not secure. That's fine. But fritzbot.net does work now. The login will not work. I need to get that set up with auth0. So if I go to manageauth0.com and I log in here, there, I'm already logged in. Look at that. Applications. This one. So I'm going to edit this one. And no. He's not here at all. Don't worry about it. I need to add HTTPS. I'm going to add the HTTPS here, even though it's not ready for it yet. HTTP fritzbot fritzbot.net callback. Thank you for the follow, Leisure. Welcome. HTTP fritzbot.net /callback. I don't want you really going there. think that's... Yeah, okay. Login URI, allowed web origins. Why does it have I thought whatever. Okay. Save changes. So now you should be able to do the login from over here. Yep, continue. And boom, I'm back and I'm logged in as me. And I can look at configuration and we're off and running. Good. How does this bot work like? Check it out. It is... You can find out the source code. You can see how it runs. This runs on C# and we're slowly building it, adding new features to it as we're going along here. And today we are working in Linux to add some new features to it as we go along here. Hey, Kate, good to see you. Yep, exclamation point help will get you in there. Do you need fritzbot.net? You had... Did I spell it wrong? Did I spell the thing wrong? Still don't understand how this works. You know what? We've spent a couple months building this. We built it with ASP.NET Core, .NET Core, and C#. So I need the HTTP in there because right now, yeah, I don't have the SSL cert installed. So until I get the SSL cert installed, I need the HTTP. Once I have it installed, I'll force everything to HTTPS and I'll drop the other ones. So, but this is built using the actor model. It's built using C#, and it connects directly to Twitch to do interactions. So, when will the bot get World Domination 1.0? Asks that onion. Very soon. Anyway, what did I do? Yeah, we'll get that in. Never mind. Stan Lynch, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you joining us. So, a couple of the things that I want to address here that are going on with the bot. We're going to run in development mode here. There we go. Dev, there we go. I'm going to start up ngrok over here. It's going to listen on HTTPS, localhost 5001. That's the default location that .NET listens when you build a web application. Let's open another tab here and go into this folder. And I am going to let that just build and run the application as we're writing code. So I run .NET watch run, and as I make changes, it will automatically restart the web application that we're building with. World domination from MVP. What comes after that? I don't know. Danny Camps Games says, I'm not on Azure, but I just gave up, and now I have 3 calendar events that reoccur over 55 days called main cert, email cert, and indie cert, and I just update the DNS records manually. Copy all commands from a text file. I feel like automating it myself one day. Yeah, I kind of agree. There's a bunch of these automation steps that would be really, really nice to be able to do, and I just don't know enough about it right now to do it, and I don't need to do it right now. I'm going to spend some time doing some research on that, and when I get done with my findings there, I'll share that with you. Now, how are we doing on time? You know what? This is a great time for me to bring up. So yesterday, yes, I do have Azure Pipelines configured for release. Azure Web App SSL Manager. Stelzy has a link for us. What do we got? Acquires and manages the SSL certificates for Azure Web App hosted applications. Yeah. Can manage web apps in a single subscription. If you want to manage web apps in multiple subscriptions, that's fine. Okay, that could be a thing that we use. SendGrid for the email. At least one Azure web app. Blob storage account to save the app properties. DNS for the custom domain. Service principal and its config values. That could be a thing that we use. When was the last time? It's an Azure function thing. Nice. Oh, and it's even got a deploy to Azure button. Ooh. That feels like it could definitely be a thing. Oh, yeah. If it was Azure Front Door, it seems to have Cert Manager or something, yes, but I'm not going to endorse Azure and support Azure Front Door in its current configuration. There's some challenges there that I don't want to cross just yet. So I've had a really good time with the work that we've been doing here. Rich Sand, that's a very deep question that you're asking, specific to your project. We would need to see your source code. We would need to see what your configuration looks like. You should be able to just run .NET publish and copy a folder to IIS. Post some of that information over on the Discord and we can take a look. I don't want to stop what we're doing here to debug and solve your particular issue right now, but there's a lot of folks on the Discord that can take a look, as well as myself, and help out with something like that. Something that I did say yesterday on Twitter, excuse me. I was out doing shopping. I had to pick up some printer ink, but they had Chromebooks at the shop that I was at. Little 13-inch Linux-based laptops. Right there. Well, it's not Linux, but it's that Chrome operating system, Chrome OS. And that's nice, but there's ways that you can gut these things and run Linux on them. And I thought that looks really neat. There was particularly a Lenovo 11-inch Chromebook. Now it's only right. It's an 11-inch notebook, so it's 1366 by 1168, and it's running a MediaTek processor. This one is, but supposedly you can bust into these things and update, right? Because it's just got a couple screws on the bottom, and replace the what's it called in it. Right, where is it? Show me the other side. You're not going to show me the other side of this thing? I want to see what the other ports are. There we go. Look at that. It's got HDMI out, a couple USB ports, and a full SD card adapter. But supposedly you can bust into these things and drop in a new M.2 card, a new NVMe drive. And for $70-80, you can get a half terabyte. That's all you really need. And you can swap out the operating system on this so that it's running Linux directly. I was checking this one out yesterday. I love that it folds all the way around, right? But the keyboard is nice at 11 inches. So for $250 plus another $70-80 for a NVMe drive, right? A little memory stick that you can drop in there to replace the hard drive and get the full size SSD. That's pretty good. Right? So the Blizzard White is okay, right? I don't care what size the storage is. I'd be tempted to get the smaller one just because I'm going to replace the drive anyway, right? So save $7, and because I'm just going to gut it. Hey, Malfunct
just resubscribed for 5 months.
Thanks so much for the 5-month sub. I appreciate that. Well, So NoopCat actually got a Google Pixel book.
Let me add some value.
Carrie! No, you don't need to do that. No.
For the Fritz Tech Fund.
Thank you so much for that cheer. That is very kind. We're going to make donations to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital for that and the subs. Thank you very, very much. 64 gig eMMC, it sounds like basically a soldered on SSD memory chip. So it isn't, is what I'm told. What I'm told is that there is a, right, I like went and looked this up, right? This is the, what is this? 2-in-1 convertible. Give me the actual model name here, punk. Where's the tech specs here? Right? C330, right? Chris Jones!
Chris Jones just resubscribed for 15 months. Hey Fritz and friends /.
Thank you so much. 15 months! Welcome back. Thank you so much. It's the bootloader. You see, if it has an open bootloader, not all the Chromebooks are friendly to Linux. Right. I think it's this one. So there's this community that's ramping up of folks that are taking these cheap Chromebooks and they're gutting it. They're customizing these things so that, right, and look at this, it's even more expensive over here on Lenovo's website, right? MediaTek graphics. This is a MediaTek processor. I'd really rather get one with with an Intel processor. But I'm going to do some research into exactly what I can do here, because I would love to have a little 11-inch Linux machine that I can just bust out, have no overhead, and be able to do .NET development on. There was another Lenovo Chromebook that was really, really small, right? It's the MediaTek one I worry about. Mayron Loud, welcome. Thank you for the follow. Nah, is it over here? Chromebook. So yeah, there's this little ecosystem of folks, and these are all look at this. Look at how plastique they are. No, I'd rather have something that's a little bit more metal. You know? Yeah, now they can do more. Yeah, that one looks a little bit better. But there are ways to gut these. The S330, I think this was it. This one's at 13 inches, right? The C330, Yoga Chromebook? See, 15 inches is too big. I want something small and dirt cheap that I can upgrade and just run with here. So this one is the MediaTek again, but there was a way to upgrade this. I thought I saw... Lenovo S330 upgrade. There's like an upgrade kit, yeah, that you can get. RAM and SSD upgrades for it. Check this out. This is from Crucial. Right, compatible SSDs for it. There you go. You can get the M.2 drives that you can drop in there. Look at that. Right? $67 and you get a 0.5 terabyte to drop in. And that's all, I mean, that's plenty of space for what you're trying to do with this. So, gotta wonder if messing around with bootloaders, desoldering eMMCs, and endless tinkering with drivers is worth $100 you save versus a native x86. Well, right, I mean, if you're spending $1,000 on a Google Pixel book, I mean, at that point, why? Right? Spending $1,400 on that, like, just buy a full-size laptop at that point and gut it. So this is kind of an experiment to tinker with. Yeah, I don't need it, but to have there were some nice cheap small laptops, right? I mean, $900 for 8 gig of memory and 128 gig of drive. It's like, really? So, and yeah, so it's something I'm going to tinker with here over the next few months. See what I can come up with. So, keep an ear open. We'll get into some hardware streams as we identify and lock this down. This may help. Securing an Azure App Service website SSL in minutes. Actually, what do you say? If that's the... Yeah. Yeah, that was an article from our friend Scott Hanselman, Rambling Geek. I was actually on the phone with him as he was writing that blog article, and we were going through configuring our websites together with the Azure SSL certs and Let's Encrypt. This doesn't work using these tools for the Linux box, and we're running on a Linux container. So I'm going to disqualify that again from being a possible solution here. Something else that I want to make sure I cover.
Oh my.
Right, isn't that it? Is that it? There we go. This is Sweet. I hope I pronounce it right. Sweet Tug in Stockholm. This is a .NET conference coming up in February. Now that we're a little bit further into the stream here, I can tell you that February 3rd and 4th, 2020, I will be in Stockholm. I will be speaking at this event. I look forward to seeing some of our Swedish friends there or in town when I'm visiting. But they're still working on speakers and the like for this. As an international that would be flying in, yeah, I can tell you that I will be. You'll find me at this event next year. So we'll get it loaded into the box. Where's the box? Over here. There it is. We'll get it loaded in there so that I'll be in Stockholm in February. In addition to Amsterdam at the end of April, beginning of May for TwitchCon. All right. Is this WSL or VirtualBox? This is Hyper-V. It's not even VirtualBox. Any chance I'll be at the Update conference in Prague? No. Nope. I don't typically get invited to speak at very many conferences. That's okay. So, when folks do invite me, I tend to take them up on it. So, there you go. There's a link out to the Discord. That link should work. So we've been working on this. We've got it's now up and running here locally, right? Because I kicked it off and it's running. So I'll click through to the website here, and there it is running. I'm going to start removing the branding here. Let's do that because that's pretty simple to do. And then I'm going to go over and I want to work on that connect feature because right now it doesn't really return information back to me that I've actually connected properly. I would also like to have some sort of a log that's visible to me for my channel, as well as be able to see and control that, oh, my stream is running, connect and start monitoring. Oh, my stream is not running, don't monitor. Those types of things. Kate says there are companies that will rent me a reasonable laptop for £15 or $20 a month. Plus side, you don't end up saddled with obsolete tech, no upfront cost. Yeah, those types of leasing for technologies, I completely agree. Tremendous idea, great idea. I used to work for a company that refused to lease servers, but instead was buying servers at tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, instead of leasing them and just getting the next bigger server on the same lease cost each year. Exactly, you don't own it. Yeah. Pariah Child says they love Scott's podcast. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy that. He's done a lot of work on that, and that podcast has been around for many, many years. Yeah, buying servers is difficult. T. Tutko says, wish I was coming to Tech Bash. Yes, I will be keynoting at Tech Bash. That's a conference here in the Pennsylvania Poconos. Very close to both New York City and Philadelphia. You can actually fly into Allentown. Cue the Billy Joel music. And you'll you'll be about a good half-hour drive away from the location. It's nice. It's out in the middle of the mountains. It's a little resort that you can go to and have a good time. Let me clean up some of this text here real quick, and we'll get back into some of these other more functional things that we're working on. So I'm going to go to index.razor, and instead of saying welcome to Pixelbot, we're going to change this right off the bat to Fritzbot. That's fine. We'll leave that as is. And I'm going to go over to the layout as well, which is here in shared main layout. These are Razor templates. It mixes HTML with C# in order to allow you to build a template that kind of makes sense and has all the information in it that you need. So there's the hello bit over there, my sidebar, my nav menu. I think it's in the nav menu then, where it still has it. Right, there it is. Pixelbot Orchestrator. We're going to rename this to just Fritzbot, and we'll put a logo or something up here at some point. Not sure why I'm getting errors coming out of this Razor log. That feels bad. Thanks so much. Appreciate the work you're doing there, Visual Studio. The Razor language server crashed 5 times. Okay. Stinks to be you. Razor makes HTML make sense. Well,
wait, let me explain something to you.
It's as markup and being able to pivot back and forth between C# and HTML using just an @ sign in front of the C# language that I want to be able to use. It's pretty good. And if this Razor log is going to keep appearing down here without me changing anything, you're going to go away real quick here. Don't mess with me, Visual Studio Code. Okay? Do not mess with me, because
Danger's my middle name.
It is. I'm not going to take it. I'm doing the keynote at Tech Bash. Any sessions or just keynote? Asks, nothing else matters. I'm going to be giving 3 sessions? 2 or 3 sessions. I'm giving a session on Visual Studio 2019 tool tricks and tips. I think I'm giving 60 tips in 50 minutes. It's going to be a whirlwind through there. I'm going to be talking about ASP.NET Core, and of course I'm giving the keynote. So maybe those are the 3 that I'm doing. I don't know. I gotta take a look at it again. 2 of them I have pretty well written already. The keynote I've got written. I'm going to update a little bit more over and revise in the next few weeks before the event. But Tech Bash is always a really fun event. The folks that have structured and built that event, they've done a nice job. And it's a smaller event in the Northeast. Folks don't really understand that they've got professional and high quality speakers coming out to host this event. And because it's a smaller event, you have a great opportunity to meet folks like me and some of the other speakers there, and network, learn all kinds of stuff, discuss, and talk about what kinds of problems you want help with. There are definitely reasons to own servers. True. If you've got a lot of legacy tech, odds are it's pretty inefficient. You'll end up spending more renting the necessary CPU cycles to keep it running than owning the hardware outright. Yes, and Kate's, I would suggest at some point, though, it makes sense to virtualize some of those things and push it out somewhere where you can use some more efficient hardware to run multiple instances of those applications. There's a pivot there that would need to happen where it starts to make sense. Likewise, my university have a few HPCs where it's absolutely more economical to own than rent. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Pellinalt says, we are Penn State. Giddy up, go Lions, go. All right. Nothing Else Matters is in Bucharest, but staying November in York, PA, my old home, so thinking of coming. Oh, that's tremendous. Pariah Child says, I've heard ASP.NET Core has made a lot of performance improvements. You're excited to try it. Give me a second here. Let's brag for a second. That should have reconnected. There it goes. And that's right. Need to fix the title bar. What you can find, if you go to I think it's techempower.com. This is the Tech Empower benchmarks. This is an independent consulting firm that benchmarks all the different frameworks that are out there. And if you look at benchmarks round 18, this was in July of 2019, you can actually look at the results of their tests. And if we look at let's look at plain text to start. There we go. So these are all the different frameworks that are running. And you can see there's ASP.NET Core, number 10 with a bullet. All of these ones are less than 1 million requests a second separating them. Look at this. Less than 5,000 requests separating them. But running C# with .NET on Linux, on the machine that they specify here, they're able to squeeze out almost 7 million requests a second. Okay? If you look at all of these that are up here, this is the only one that is being maintained by a company that offers a support contract. It's the only commercial one that's up there, but it's completely open source and available for you to get into and test. The ASP.NET Core RHTX, that's running, right, is that on Red Hat? Is that the one there? It's not clear to me the difference between these two. But the point is, right, and here's another one down there. So, extremely fast. Extremely fast, and you can do a lot with that. When it comes to .NET shops, is Razor more prevalent, or do they build APIs and call them from React, Angular, Vue? Asks Julio Barina. They do a little bit of both. It's, I don't know if I could specify one is more prevalent than another, but that's absolutely one way that folks enjoy using .NET. Could I practice the keynote to subscribers as a Fritz Bits award? I tell you what, I will. It's important that I give it the keynote to the folks at Tech Bash first. But I will take a line item here. Give the Tech Bash keynote on stream after Tech Bash. We can work that out. I think we can work that out. Operation costs are often not included when comparing prices. If you use cloud resources, you can really reduce operations costs if you do it right, says Malfunct. Yeah, you're right. Yep. Kate says, we virtualized a few years ago. We do have a D-legacy roadmap underway now. Nice. Nice. Still looking at 3+ years before renting becomes viable. Not bad. The top 17 are way too close to each other still. Yeah, the network is saturated, Johan. Yep. You are C++ Rick. Welcome, Great Bullet DE. Nice to meet you. Galakith says, can I see you keep notes? These are the notes so far. Talking about different Fritz Bits redemptions. Be able to pick the next hat, choose the background behind me, maybe from a library or more if you want to submit your own, maybe change the editor font. It was suggested that I check out the i3 window manager for Linux. And I'm going to try and give the Tech Bash keynote on stream after the event. We didn't get the alert. Kasukin with a resub, 14 months. Good. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much, Kasukin. 14 months. That is tremendous. We'll make another donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. So, yes, I use Notepad. It's free, it's easy, and I can format it however I want. And when I'm it prevents Windows from restarting. So, Great Bullet DE. Oh, wait. Robert Table says, redemption idea. Live on stream, dye beard color chosen by Redeemer. No, bad idea. Really, really, really bad idea. Oh, why? Where's the alert? Kate's with the sub. Thank you so much. for the sub. I really appreciate that first time sub. You're going to get a purple notification hat there, subscriber loyalty hat, and all the ads are turned off. You're going to get 17 different emotes, and you get to throw emotes at my screen here. Stream Elements is riding the struggle bus today. Absolutely. Okay, there we go. So, definitely something that we can... Yeah, alerts are broken. But thank you so much, Kates and Kasukin. I really appreciate both of those. And we'll, as with all of our subs, all of our cheers, all fourth quarter 2019, we're going to make donations to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. Was actually a question. I'm sorry, I didn't. Is C# and Linux not a pain in the... No. I've been having a really good time using it, actually. Really good time. And I've purposely chose Ubuntu so I don't have to think about some of the tuning and configuring there. I'm not familiar with some of the options to let me configure the operating system, so I wanted to minimize that so I could focus on development. So, Simon Jeering, it doesn't prevent Windows from restarting in the latest build. They now relaunch it where it left off. Rats. Same with MS Paint? Really? There you go, Kates. Love the cool bot there. And Mary Jo Stabler with the spooky ghost emotes. Nice. Nice. Yeah, right? Don't you like the... Right, the... I've got all my stickers right here. Look at this. The Octo Cat with a rainbow beard. There is. She is. Don't really know the gender for the Octo Cat. There you go. So I spent some time yesterday. I got all of I've 4 sets of stickers and buttons mailed out. And they told me at the post office they're not sure if the buttons inside the envelopes were going to be legit to make it to the UK, but we'll see what happens. If they come back, I'll put them in a different envelope and pay for different postage to make sure they get there. You have a really great time with C++ everywhere except Android. Oh, that's great. I'm glad to hear that. Well, it's time that Fritzbot starts handling the alerts, and Stream Elements will be happy because then we can't blame it anymore for not showing alerts. You're not wrong, Stelzy. DevXer pretty much writes C# on Linux or Mac full-time. Very cool. Valentin Mazioff asks, is that VMware or VirtualBox? This is Hyper-V, actually. Johan, I've got a friend who can go on for hours and hours how much he doesn't like Systemd, and I just don't seem to get it. Rasdem Bucket. Hello, smiley face. Julio Barina asks, do you use Chocolatey? And if yes, how do you like it? I don't use Chocolatey that much. Chocolatey is a package manager that you can use with Windows to automate the installation of applications. I don't. I've used it. I used it, I think, to install Chatty, but that's about it. The VM has one indicator that it's Hyper-V, the RDP title bar. Yep, right there. So what are we working on here? So we've been building this distributed chatbot technology for the past couple months. We got into this, and we're adding features to make it easier for folks to work with. So I can log in here, right? It's going to route me over. And there, that's logged in with my Twitch account. This is all my Twitch information, including my Gravatar that's uploaded and available on Twitch. And there's my email address and all the information about my, right, that's my Twitch channel ID right there as well. Okay. So I have been given the global admin role here, and I'm able to click through to the current channels because I'm the global administrator and force it to join a channel. Now, right, that's nice, but that's a pain in the neck when this is actually running, right, and handling things. Inside channel configuration, we added this button down here so that we could force it, join my channel now, and it'll actually connect in and start monitoring your Twitch channel. But that's not entirely friendly when this is up and running in a production space. When you think about services like Muxy, Stream Elements, Streamlabs, they just join your channel either and hang out there all the time and turn on and off whether or not to fire the widgets, or they just leave everything connected all the time out there, which feels like a tremendous waste of network resources to be receiving and broadcasting information that nobody's actually using. So, there's a couple things here that I want to do. First, I want to fix that title up there, because that's the old project name that we were using. I want to get rid of that so it says Fritzbot. That's the name of it. At some point, we're going to change the layout here, and we'll put some nice layout in here to make this easier to work with and be able to see. But when you click this Join My Channel, I want to have this turn into Depart My Channel, and I also want to have the enabled only turn on if you're actually connected and using it in the channel, which means I want to move this actually up to the top so that each of the feature sets for each of the widgets is in its own group going down the page or in its own component box here, so it lays out and runs properly. Do I know MD Bootstrap, says Rasdom Bucket. I know Bootstrap, I don't know MD Bootstrap. What's the difference? Help me out, I'm eager to learn. Simon Jeering says, a load of peeps on the tech Twitters were moaning about it and Windows rebooting the other day. Don't know what all the fuss is about myself. Running Enterprise Edition and just tell it working hours, and it always ends up doing update on shutdown between usage sessions. I guess it must be people who normally run a machine 24/7 who are unhappy. What I've run into is my corporate IT will force my machine to reboot whenever they feel like it. True story, I was in the middle of giving a presentation at a Microsoft conference, and they force rebooted my machine while I was on stage. It was an internal event, and the force reboot screen came up. It says, you know, we're going to reboot this in the next 5 minutes, or you can cancel and delay it for an hour, but we're rebooting your machine. I was like, well, I better click the right button here, or this session's going to end real early. So, material design. Haven't tried it. Ori asks, is anyone familiar with Ruby? I am not that familiar with Ruby. I used it a long time ago, but it's not something that I've used in quite some time.
Bazinga.
Looking down here, your Chris Jones' organization does that. At least they give you about a 4-hour warning before forcing the restart. Yeah, it's a pain in the neck. And Smab's ISP will reboot his router about once a week, normally when doing something on the network. Isn't that rude? It's quite rude when someone does that. I mean, I get at forcing it, but let me know when you're going to force the reboot. Give me some notice. Send me a text message, send me an email. Let me know that it's coming. So, all right, let me clean up some of that text. I want to change this layout, and I want to get some feedback on the screen for this Join My Channel. And because we're using Blazor, I'll be able to force that to reload and appear on screen without a refresh happening. So let's go back over to Visual Studio Code. And I really enjoy working in Visual Studio Code here. It's really got a great look and feel that makes me happy with how I interact with my code. It's not app, it's not nav menu. The actual layout, is it index? No. It's not in dub root. Can't be. Or is it pages? Index. Ah, there it is. Alright, so I'm going to change the title here. Make sure I get that fixed. Right? I always got to look at my keyboard right before I put my hands back on the keyboard just so I can find my home keys again. You know? Malfunct says, if we read every email we usually know about the forced reboots about a week in advance, but the emails are impossible to parse at a glance and get ignored. You're not wrong. Those emails that our corporate IT send, the actual action item and notification of here's what's happening doesn't happen until about 3/4 of the way down the page, after there's a giant 500 pixel high header image up at the top. It's a pain in the neck. Trouble I found with material design is it's missing key controls like schedule controls compared to something like NG Prime. Let me know. I'm interested to learn more about the schedule controls. Simon, do you have a link to that? I'd be interested to learn more. But I'm trying to find schedule controls for Blazor. So that's a thing. That should be at the top. That's how I do things for offices I manage. Right? Not just at the top, but maybe even put it in the title. You know, notification, scheduled reboot coming in 2 days. Something like that. Rasdom Bucket asks, is that ASPX? This is not ASPX. This is Razor templating with ASP.NET Core and Blazor. So these Razor templates, which are HTML mixed with C#, C# is denoted by the @ sign here. This will get executed on the server and automatically sent to all the listening clients as it changes. What do you mean by bring it back to the first lines, like a clear screen? No. Let me show you. Hey, SlickVer1. Here, you can get information about the music we're playing right there with the music command. All right. Let me close this. I don't need that right now. I don't need my startup page. Why don't I just look at the open editors and close things? Don't need the test controller right now. Don't need that. This is the one that I'm working in, is the current, not even the current channels. It's channel configuration is where I'm working. So that is not the actor. Yeah, it was down in here. Configuration model and configuration Razor. So these two go together. Let me close some of these other things just to make it a little bit easier. So here's the layout for that configuration page that we were looking at here. Yes, reload the page. See, this is going to be a problem. It shouldn't have wiped the screen. And there's something about the reload for the WebSocket here that we're able to set that so that it'll retry in a longer period. And I have a feeling we're going to have to work on that. Web search Prime NG, that is for JSP, jQuery, React, and Angular. I'm hoping they also support the client-side Blazor, but it's early doors for that. UI suites can take a while, and client-side is not even ready there. Let me grab that. That was NG Prime. Prime NG, I'm sorry. My bad. Okay. I'll take that. What am I drinking? Asks Rasdom Bucket. This is Madrina's cold brew coffee. There you go, you can see that. This is vanilla cappuccino flavor that I'm drinking today. I usually have G Fuel here as well. But I felt like trying the vanilla cappuccino today. All right, let's dig in a little bit further. So when I click join my channel here, I wanted to actually respond, because right now it just kind of... What'd it do? If I go over to current channels, I can see it is joined to that channel. And I have no feedback here that shows that it is joined or it isn't joined to the channel. So... Ori asks, is there a way to create a class to bring the program back to the first lines? What do you mean? You have a program that stores information in an array about a hotel, then if the user wants to store new information about the hotel, I was curious if there was a way to clear the array and bring the program back up to the beginning lines of code. Ori, do you have some sample code that you can share on a gist or maybe in a GitHub repository, and we can get a little bit further with the discussions over on our Discord. There's a very open community there that can talk through and help debug some of those things. Kate says, I mean, you guys are Microsoft, and including a priority red Outlook event at the appropriate time with a half-day reminder should be the basics. Right? I mean...
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
There's got to be a way to do that. Try MD Bootstrap also. All right, I will add that to my list to take a look at here. Thanks for the recommendations, there. Where did that go? Rasdom Bucket. Thank you for the recommendations. I'll definitely take a look at those after we sign off here. All right, so I want to change this so it actually detects and outputs whether or not you're connected right here. So I can receive into this configuration model. I think I already am. Up here, I receive an actor called the channel manager. What I should be able to do is ask the channel manager, are you connected to this channel already? Right? So if I take a look, so these are actors. These are simple classes that you can send messages to, or, excuse me, send messages to and get some sort of an action, get it doing some sort of an action, or receive information from it. Thank you for the follow, Nirm? Nirm? Let me know how to pronounce that. Welcome, it's so good to see you. Thanks for joining. Let's see here. Do I have some entry-level ASP.NET tutorials right now? I'm going through the ones I paid for from Tim Corey. He's a great instructor. Yes, Tim's a great instructor. He's a friend. He's occasionally here in the channel. I have an ASP.NET Core 2.2 workshop that you can find on the YouTube channel. There's the link that you can check out. It's about 8 hours long, and it walks you through the basics. I've wanted to do more of those. I've produced a couple videos for Pluralsight in the past. They're okay. But I particularly have videos available on, you'll see Wintellect Now pops up here. There's some great stuff there as well. Hey, there's Carrie with the Live Coders logo BTTV icons. Yeah, Carrie's another live coder. Thank you for the follow, Tobholm. Appreciate you joining us. Pronounce it like I want to. You have no clue how to do it yourself. All right, Narm. Thanks so much for joining us. Hey, TBD Gamer. TBD Gamer's another live coder, just joining the team in the last few weeks. Thank you for the follow, Coonheart28. Welcome. Okay. So what I should be able to do, what I'd like to do is send a message over here and say, are you connected? And just get a Boolean response back that says, yes, I am connected, or no, I'm not. Now, we send those back and forth with messages. So I'm going to come down here, not to my test project. No, close that. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Here it is, messages. So I want to put together a message that you can ask, right? I'm going to send an ask message with a response that says, is channel connected? So I'm going to create a new file here, and let's make this, is channel connected? Jonathan Delfrace.
Jonathan Delfrace just resubscribed for 2 months. Thanks for the great streams.
Oh my gosh, Jonathan, thank you so much for that. 2 months of subscriptions. I really appreciate you joining us. I'll make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, and you're going to get those 17 emotes. Thank you so much. I should add class to the button. I could, yes. Yeah, we do need to style the UI. That's absolutely something. And here's the thing. This project it's all open source. If you'd like to submit a pull request with some styles, some suggestions, I am more than happy to take those suggestions, review them here on stream, and we'll give you some credit for helping out with those, and we'll put your name up on the crawl up at the top of the screen as a thank you, so that everybody knows that you helped contribute to our project. Where is the Git link? There's a project we're working on. You can follow up on that if you'd like. All right, jump back over to here. I'm going to create a constructor for this. Is channel connected? And I'm going to need to pass in the name of the channel that we're asking about. There it is. And I'm going to say this dot channel name equals channel name. And I'm going to create this. Control period will trigger that light bulb. And I'm going to generate a property for that. It should be a read-only property. Yeah, that works. I'll even get rid of the private set. So in C#, this means it can only be set by the constructor. So it'll be visible outside so that other folks can read that value. But I also need to have the isChannelConnected response. So I'm going to create another class here. Right next to it. isChannelConnected response. And it's returning, right now it's just going to return a Boolean, but I'll be able to update this later with more information if we want it. So let's create another constructor. isChannelConnected response. And is connected. Now what I might be able to do, if I create an initialized property, yes please. Fantastic. I should have done it that way before, shouldn't I? Man.
You're amazing. You figured this all out already.
I did. Okay. So now I've got these two, so what I can do from inside my configuration model. I know, I got it right. Well, and then I'm going to come over here, and I'll be able to ask at construction time, is it connected or not? So let me do that here. Right, see how there's this config actor ask, and it returns some sort of an object. I could return bool, but I'd rather return that class so I can say whether or not it's connected. Let's create a Boolean property up here for is connected. That's is connected. Yeah, private set. Okay. So let's do this. Let's say is connected equals await. It's not the config actor. It is the channel manager. So I'm going to say await channel manager ask is channel connected. So what am I receiving back? I'm receiving back an is channel connected response. That's this type, right? And I'm going to pass into it a new is channel connected object with the name of the channel that we're connecting to. Doe? Let me put that cheer, that very kind cheer from Carrie right here. Thank you so much. My goodness. And what day is today? I forget what day today is. The 20th. Thank you so much. So this is going to be user identity name, because this is the person who's logged in. All right. So after that, await happens. So it's going to make that request, await the answer, and I'll have my response object, and I'll just pass that along so I know whether it's connected or not. Hey, from 3 a.m. and good night. Oh my gosh, Voltage X. Have a good evening. My gosh, thank you so much. Once I get it working, could I stream and clip how I managed to get Let's Encrypt on my stack? Yes. That, right, the Let's Encrypt bits here, I'm gonna make sure I have that here. Let's Encrypt for Linux app service with containers. I think I would turn that into both a YouTube video and a blog post that goes through and shows the whole process. I think you're absolutely right there, Marco. Marco Ruiz 83. I think you're absolutely right. We need to make sure we share that. I have another blog post in the middle of processing showing how I set up the GitHub package registry with Azure DevOps. That's got to be a thing here. Yes, I am doing day, month, year, date formatting for all of my cheers. Yes. Okay, so now I have whether or not you're connected in this is connected variable, which means I can go back over to my chat. Not there. I want to go to the Razor. Didn't I have the Razor open? Here, this one. So now I can go down, instead of join my channel, right? And we do need to put some what were the classes somebody was suggesting I put on there? Button sick? Why sick? I could put the button class on there. So, random bucket makes, I'm sorry, Rasdom bucket. Make sure I say that right. My apologies. Says to make you have some changes on GitHub. Let's take a look what Rasdom has for us here. With a pull request. Very nice. Add some style to the buttons. Oh, fantastic. See, here's the thing. I'm not a designer. I'm a developer that barely knows how to put some color on these things. You know what? Before I make any changes here, I am going to take that, right? And just adding a little bit of style there. That is just fine for me. I am happy to take those. Let's merge that pull request. Sure. Thank you for the contribution. I always need help with style. Very cool. And when that gets promoted, your name will pop up on the top there for the pixel bot. It should appear just a little. It'll be, I think, the next time through you'll see it. I think it's the first one in the list. Okay. So what I can do now, right? So, yeah, there it is running. Let me open another tab. Bump that up a little bit. Let me do a git status. I'm going to add everything. I'm going to commit. Working on making the configuration screen a little more friendly. So that's there it is. So now I'll pull in the changes. Yep, that's fine. Why am I not? No, I want to be in. There we go. So now I can reload. Yeah. Try it again. You'll get back. I promise. Right? Try again. And back on the configuration page. What's it? What are you doing? Did I break something? I might have broken something. Right? That should have worked. But it's not loading here for some reason. I broke it! I know! It was me. Oh, you know what? It's awaiting that and blocking. Look. Right here. Nothing's coming back because it doesn't know what to do with that yet. So let's handle that. When we receive an is channel connected request, very simple what we're gonna do. Right, we're just gonna say the list of channels that it's currently managing are sitting here in a dictionary called channel actors. So we're just gonna say channel actors has key, right? Has key? No. I thought there was a has key method on dictionaries. Isn't there? No. That's a dictionary. Is it contains key? Is that what I'm thinking? Yes. And I'm gonna pass in the name of the channel. Does it have that? So I actually want to return that as a new is channel connected response. That's it. Right? I'm going to receive that. But I don't just want to receive it, I want to handle it and respond. If it doesn't know what to do, shouldn't something somewhere have thrown an exception? Well, I'm blocking. waiting for it. So it should time out, actually. And eventually blow up. But it's blocking for right now. Right, I want this to sender.tell. That's what I need to do here. Sender.tell. And send that information back. There we go. So that should restart the service now, because I made a change. See, the watch is restarting the service. And any good tutorials for the actor pattern that I'm using? The getaka.net website has a pretty good set of documentation there. Tutorials, not so much. All right, that looks like it's running. And I'm back in Windows. I should be back here in Linux. So let's reload the page. Yeah. Go to my page. There it is. Now we've got it. Save changes. That looks nice. The button here kind of disappeared. But it knows right now whether or not it's enabled or not. There is the Petabridge Bootcamp on GitHub. Yes, isn't that from the Akka folks? Thank you for the follow, Shizali. Thank you. Appreciate you joining us and look forward to seeing you in the chat room. All right. So, yeah, this one doesn't look quite right. Let's see if we can fix that here. Configuration.razor. I don't know. Why does it keep closing that? It shouldn't. So, button prime, join my channel. I don't think I have that there. It goes from prime, change it from prime to primary. Yeah. Right, and I feel like, right, we want to change the text here based on whether or not you're connected or not, right? Right, say, base dot, oh, it's not gonna give me because that razor thing crashed. Thank you for the follow, Mighty Core 1. Welcome. 3K. 3K? What 3K? What? I'm sorry, I don't know what 3K is. Wrong. It's here. The configuration model is connected. Base dot is connected. Okay. So if it is connected, we want to say leave my channel or join my channel. And right now the method is join channel. Let's change that and call it toggle channel. I'll go back over to the configuration model and I'm going to change that method name now that we know whether you're connected or not. Right there. Hey, come on back here. Okay, so we've got the user there, so I should be able to say if is connected. We're going to tell it to do something. Otherwise, when you're not connected, tell it to go join the channel. Do I have anything to actually have it leave the channel yet? This join button screams for its own razor component. You're not wrong. You're not wrong at all. It's definitely a feature. Maybe it's even a switch. I don't know. I don't think I have a method to leave the channel yet. So for right now, write a method to leave the channel. We'll figure that out later. That's not really a problem at this point. Here we go. Restarting. Come on, go. Jeez. Let me see. Let me take a look. There's a couple messages that went by in chat. Could you not have a unit test to check if every message has at least one handler? Did a similar thing for a client that tests that all CTOR DI dependencies were registered. Yeah, I could do that. That's definitely a thing. The join button screams for the Razor component. Yeah. Is there a getting started configure README for this project? There isn't, DevXer, and I need to work on that. There's definitely something there that we should do to make that a little bit better. The Fritz Bits thing, is it a Twitch extension? No, this is actually a beta Twitch feature that is going to be rolled out over the next month or so. You'll see it. You'll see it come online. And folks will, everybody will have access to it. That's, I believe, affiliate or partner. But affiliates and partners can sign up for the beta and join. Dinner time for Johan. Have a fun stream. Push it to GitHub. Oh yeah, we'll definitely push this to GitHub. Absolutely. You can do something like red and green dot indicating disconnected or connected. Bokyo, you're right, but I would stay away from red-green being the only indicator, because folks that don't have, folks that are colorblind will have a hard time telling the difference between the two. So, look at that. Disconnected, and it's not reconnecting. Bang, there we go. Join my channel, save changes. So, right, we need to move some things around here. But when I click join my channel, it still doesn't automatically update and say, oh, yep, we're connected. If I go over to current channels, it does show that I am connected. But there it is. Now it's updated to say leave my channel. So that's right, but it didn't update. It didn't update the button. So after I do the channel manager tell here, right? I feel like, should we do this as tell? Is there a tell async? Right? Channel manager. Yeah. It's not asynchronous. So I'm not going to be able to lean in there. Yeah. And tell it to do the next thing, right? If it's not connected, it's button primary, but if connected, it must be button danger. Okay, sure, let's do that over here. So we can do another thing here, right? So I can say base.is connected. So if it is connected, we want it to be button danger. Otherwise, we want it to be button primary. And now it will appropriately pivot back and forth between those. It looks weird only because we're inside of a class here. So I just saved that. It should... Yep, it's going to rebuild and refresh here. We'll see that in just a second. Only the best and biggest streamers are allowed to beta test the bits thing. No, actually, you're... Stelzy, anybody can sign up and beta test. So. Oh, that's how many bits you have. Janescu and Smab. Nice. If it's not connected, right. Tell is always asynchronous. It is, but it's not returning a task. I can't await that. It is asynchronous, but I want to receive notification that it's done. Putting glyph and a span in the button text could help the color differentiation. Well, I changed the text entirely there. So that's definitely a thing already. VS Code is still working on its syntax highlighting for Blazor. Yes, you are completely correct there. But what I'd like to do is after that, not there. Hang on. Configuration model here. Right? After it does the tell, right? I'd like to say, did it connect? And change the state appropriately. Right? Which means doing this. And then forcing the page update. So if I do that. Right, and then what was it to do the page update? Right, I forget what the force page update is. Right, it's like base dot. Let's It's not build render tree. It's like notify or something. State has changed. That was it. Right, so check to see if we're connected. Force the refresh of the state here. I would love to be able to do an await on this, but I don't think I can. Oh, it's synchronous. Okay. So then I will get it back and I'll be able to. All right. So let's see if that works, and if we can get that, if we have that working, we're good. I kind of agree with you, Simon. Modern frameworks should support async features. The async keyword in our languages. So let me try reloading this. It should come right back. There we go. Nope. See, that's weird. Right, there it goes. So now if I click join my channel, bang. So now I know it's connected because it now says leave my channel, and I can see that it is connected. Only I have access to this as global administrator. At some point, I would like to see some sort of a log page for users over here. Isn't tell an event emitter? It is. Well, it's sending a message to another component that's able to respond to that. Well, it's just after 12, and I want to make sure that we have a chance to support some of the other live coders that are streaming here today.
You have no idea what you're dealing with.
I don't, and that's why I want to make sure that we show some love to some of the other folks that are streaming here today. So I'm going to clean up here real quick, and let's get all of my code updated, checked into GitHub, so that if you are interested in participating, if you want to write some code, if you want to help out, we will make this available to you so that you can check it out, try it on your own. I do need to write some docs and make it a little bit easier for folks to start working with this on their own. So finished making the join channel button more interactive. And I'll do some more work on this a little bit later to get some documentation on this as to how to get things up and running. Rasdom Bucket! Yes, you're new here. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate the sub. And we're going to make a donation to St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital. You're going to get all those emotes, and you get to throw emotes at my face next time. What are my goals for the bot feature-wise? There's some information in the issues list. I want to start adding features to this bot that are things that are a little bit more advanced, a little more technically interesting. TBD Gamer! Thank you for adding some value. 400 bits! I really appreciate that. We'll make another donation. Let's set up for our raid. All the code's checked in, but I want to start adding these more advanced features to the bot. Machine learning, advanced moderation capabilities, other widgets and interesting things that we can build here that aren't necessarily just, hey, somebody interacted with the stream. Let's do something interesting with that. I'm going to set up for our raid as the Mario music wraps up here. If you're a subscriber, grab that top line of code, copy it onto your clipboard that the bot just pasted into chat. If you're not, grab that second line of code, because we're going to do like we do every Sunday morning. We are going to raid our friend NoOpCat. That's our friend Suze Hinton. She's writing some code today. It looks like she's making some browser demos. So we're going to continue some of the web development love here. Thank you for the follow, Krusnik788. I really appreciate everybody for joining us here this morning. I'm going to work on a little bit of the documentation for this throughout the day today. And I will be back on Tuesday. J. Rogers, J.R. Rogers, thank you for the follow. And Justin Bieber 382, thank you for the follow as well. Friends, I will be back on Tuesday. This video, like all my other videos, will be on the YouTube channel. I'm going to spend some time today as well getting those loaded. I'm a little bit behind on that. Dr. Mumba, thank you for the follow as well. You're catching me right at the end. Friends, take care. Have a good Sunday. And I will see you in two days on Tuesday. Say hello to our friend NoOpCat. Take care.